What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Virtual Redban 707 in 3D. What's up? Happy Tuesday. Welcome to Virtual Redban. This is my first drink of the night. Yes, in 3D. You know, 3D movies. I've always been a fan. I've always been one of the people that if the movie's in 3D, I'll go see it in 3D. We'll talk about all this in a bit, but it might be making a comeback. Cheers to you guys. Yum, 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 yum. If you want a Death Squad mug, just like the one I'm holding, you can go to, guess where? deathsquad.tv. There, not only do you have right here at the very top, the Shop Squad. You can click on Shop Squad, and that will take you to, that's right, shopsquad.tv. Where, yes, you might notice there's mugs here, just like the ones I'm drinking out of, 3 different beautiful colors. But you might have been going, hey, Brian, all your stuff is out of stock again. I mean, the Toxic Cat, I think we have 4 smalls left for the shirt. But if you want the long sleeve, it is completely sold out except for 3 XLs. But one thing you might notice on the amazing long sleeve version of the shirt is I love the sleeves. That's what all the hip kids are using. They are using the long sleeve prints nowadays, and you guys love it. I love having a little bit of shit on my sleeve, but I decided, I need to order more of these shirts. But instead of having, let's just change it up a little if I can. We've already sold a bunch of these. We can call these the first edition long sleeve. But I am about to show you, breaking news, 2 new designs that I ordered, and we should have them in about 3 weeks or so. So get ready. If you didn't get the Toxic Cat shirt, or if you have the long sleeve and you love it so much and you want some more versions of it, I'm one of those guys that always buys, like if I like a shirt, I'll buy like 2 of them, 3 of them, just because I'm like, no, I like this shirt so much. I want to have backups. You guys buy backups of clothes? Backups of shirts? Here's the first one, red. It's going to be the same color of red that is on the front of the shirt. And it's going to be down the sleeve. And guess what the other color is? Yellow. I like the yellow. That pops. But the red and the yellow stripes are coming soon. And all the t-shirts are getting stocked back in. So if you haven't got the regular, just a regular short sleeve style, that's coming back. We still got Death Squad 7 Itchy in stock. This is the newest one. It's all made out of 7s. And you might have seen this shirt somewhere. I'll show you where in a second. But somewhere you might have seen this shirt recently. Anyways, you can go to shopsquad.tv or just go to deathsquad.tv. That has all the links of everything I'm talking about, including every episode of Kill Tony, which is now available on Spotify also, and of course, Apple Podcasts. And every episode is now available for audio listeners. So if you don't want to go to deathsquad.tv, you just want to open up your old Spotify, there you go. But man, if you didn't see episode 645, which came out yesterday of Kill Tony with the great Lewis Katz, check it out. Awesome show. Here's a little bit of it from from Monday, Cam Patterson. But you might see somebody, the great trombone guy, Deemer. What's that shirt he's wearing? He's wearing one of the Death Squad 7 shirts. And look, from here, from a distance, it just looks like a normal Death Squad shirt. Until you walk right up to it and notice it's all 7s. What? Anyways, if you want to check out the Lewis Katz episode number 645, you could always go to youtube.com/killtony, or deathsquad.tv has all the links to the YouTubes and all the past episodes, descriptions, blah, blah, blah. deathsquad.tv. And in the great Sunset Strip Comedy Club, you could also click on that. If you're ever in Austin, Texas, you got to check out the Mothership, Comedy Mothership, owned by Joe Rogan, considered one of the best comedy clubs in the world. And, if you're there for a while, you want to make it a comedy vacation, go right next door to the Sunset Strip. Check out my club, my little hole in the wall. A lot of the same comics actually play at both. So if tickets are hard to get at Rogan's Club. So if it sells out, you might want to just go next door. The same comics are probably going to be playing there. So check out Sunset Strip, atx.com, including checking out this Thursday is my secret show. You've heard about this on Kill Tony. I do it every single Thursday. It's usually like 15, 16. Sometimes, last week it was 17 comedians. And it's every single Thursday. It's called The Secret Show. Check out my show. Say hello. Don't creep me out too much. Just to take a break. Anyways, that's Sunset Strip ATX. Go to deathsquad.tv. Speaking of creep me out, I think it's the nature of the show, Kill Tony. But man, it really attracts some of the most craziest people. As you can tell just by watching the show, the characters that come on that show to try to be stand-up comics and stuff. It's a lot of times you're like, what is wrong with these people? And most of them all talk about how they're all doing mushrooms and crazy drugs and stuff. And you're like, man, does everyone do drugs? No, not everyone. But there's just a lot of fucking people out here that are trying to get on Kill Tony or become a comedian. Even more so than I remember being in Los Angeles. But so many really unfortunate souls, I guess I'll call them, come up to me and just like mental illness times a million. It's pretty fucking scary sometimes. There's this one guy that's always coming around like, hey man, you know me, man. Remember we're upstairs in the sky, and we were communicating, and you're just like, oh my God. And it's definitely people doing too much DMT or whatever the fuck it is. It's pretty scary. Like, that's now I get it why, long time ago, when I first got a job working with Joe, he, he's a fucking martial artist. He's stronger than anyone I know. And he still had security guards. And I was always like, Joe, why do you need a security guard? You could beat any of these people's asses. And I always thought that was unnecessary. And man, now I get it. Just with how popular the show has become, just the amount of people that come up to you that that know you, that are just sometimes fucked in the head. It's really scary. I wish I could show you guys. I know you guys are like, what the fuck are you talking about, Brian? Man up. But just imagine, you're walking around the mall or something, and everybody just started coming up to you and going, hey, I know you. Yeah. I don't know. It's pretty nuts. So I don't know how I got into this. Oh, I've had some incidences lately with just people coming up that are just like, fuck me. Don't look him in the eye. Oh, because if you go to the Sunset Strip ATX, say hi, but don't freak me out, please. Sunset Strip ATX, right next door to the Comedy Mothership, downtown Austin. My show Thursday. Blah blah blah. How are you guys doing in the chat? Hi. I love the mustache. It's crazy. I just did mine. Then I saw yours. Yeah, this mustache. I tell you what. It's funny because this mustache is by mistake. I originally had kind of like a goatee going. I actually, recently saw a popular YouTuber, I guess you would call him, and he has a goatee, and I was like, damn, I haven't had a goatee in a while. So I was growing a goatee. You might have seen on some episodes, actually on that Kill Tony episode. Yeah, on this episode, the latest episode that came out. But the problem with my goatee, as you can tell, the bottom half is gray. It sucks. I don't like it. I don't like the gray bottom. See, it's kind of like, it's like, I don't know, what's it called? A black and white cookie? But anyways, I kind of liked it. I was going to, I'm going to grow it out a little bit more. And then the New Year's Eve shows. Okay, we can get back up from, nope. We can back up a little from this. Then the New Year's, it's so hard to say New Year's Eve. That gets me for some reason. New Year's Eve. During the New Year's Eve show, I was trying to shape it up, for the 30th episode before New Year's Eve show. And I fucked up. Like, I always do that. Like, I'll go too short, or it gets a patch, and then I'm like trying to fix it up on the other side. Next thing you know, it looks like shit. I actually went out, and Janice goes, man, that looks so stupid. You need to get rid of that, to my goatee. And I'm like, man. So I start shaving it, and I was like, I saw this mustache, and I was like, you know what? It's because it's crazy shows, because it's Kill Tony New Year's and New Year's Eve shows. I'll just have a mustache. Maybe it's just for one show. I'll just have a mustache. Make it crazy, weird. And then the first night I had it, so many people came up to me and told me they liked it. And I was like, what? No. And then it's gotten to that point where people have told me they like it or think it fits me and stuff. I don't know if they're being sarcastic. Because I'm one of those people, like, I'll like it maybe for a day, and then I'll catch myself like in a mirror, and I'll catch the side of my face or something, and I'll be like, ew, I hate it. And then I shave it off. Usually a mustache only lasts like 3 days for me. But I'm telling myself, just try to keep this mustache for like a month at least. And it's kind of growing on me a little. The only problem is my dad used to have this exact same mustache my whole life growing up. He doesn't have it anymore. But so I just feel like I am really turning into my dad. Yeah, they're being sarcastic. Steve Austin. I think you're right. Seriously though. But the thing is Janice likes it. So then I'm like, well, is everyone being sarcastic? Because if Janice likes it, Janice won't lie to me. Of course, Janice also wants me to look like shit, so that no one hits on me or anything. She's doing a great job, isn't she? You look like a broke porn star. See, the only reason I like it is because it does kind of remind me of the 70s, just a 70s stash. You guys, younger people, are probably like, I don't get it. Like in the 70s, everyone had like big fluffy mustaches, Tom Selleck years. You guys remember Tom Selleck? Probably not. Probably people don't probably know who Tom Selleck is. Magnum PI. I mean, he pretty much his whole career, and I'm not calling me Magnum PI, but his whole career had, a crazy mustache. That was a weird one.
First time I worked, she's your sister.
So, anyways, he grew up. He was really popular with his mustache. Now mine's a little bit more this. Hold on. So yeah.
And you're on Medicare, you may qualify for a free meter from Liberty Medical. If you have type 2 diabetes like I have, you're confronted with choices. You can choose to feel sorry for yourself. I hope you don't. I hope you kiss in Liberty.
Yeah, and this is more diabetes. I hope you have diabetes.
Helping you keep
You
your
get your
diabetes under
diabetes
control. That's why we're a proud sponsor of the American Diabetes Association in their mission to prevent and cure diabetes.
Whatever. Yeah, mine's more diabetes, I think. Wilford Brimley. But anyways, I'm going to keep it for a bit. I don't remember if I had anything else to say about it. It's growing on me, the mustache. But the good thing is that the top half has always been not gray. See, if this was gray, I don't think I would want a diabetes gray color. The dude from Hall & Oates has a good stash. Oh yeah, he had one of the biggest ones, right? Like his is monstrous back in the day. Yeah. Oh God. Let me find a. This is all going to give me a copyright strike. All right, let's just look at quick one of this. Oh God, I never realized how the one dude from Hall & Oates looks like Opie from Opie and Anthony. Oh, there's a screenshot, I guess. Dude, but the blonde guy, yeah, that's a nice mustache. Mine's a little bit more diabetes than that, though. But this blonde guy, I never realized how much it's Opie from Opie and Anthony. Old, angry Opie, I guess they call him, right? I don't know. Look, it's a little Opie. Whatever. It's the Opie gang. 80s were weird. All right. I don't know what I was talking about. Mike and Jules want to take you and Janice out and celebrate the engagement and, of course, the budding friendship. Says he'll get the limo and all at his tree. That would be really nice. I need to make it out his side of town. I wonder if he would come out if I ever had shows near him, if he would ever come out to a show. I wonder. I have to use touch of gray on the left side of my stash. I need to use it right here. And I guess it looks like it might start being, I plucked some of it. Oh God, what are we talking about? I like the stash. You got to let it grow out more and start. Oh, I am never going to be the guy that curls it. If you ever see me be curl guy, like, can I even do it now? Yeah. If you ever see me be one of those idiots, fuck me. I give you permission if I ever become one of those people, and not as a joke. Like if I'm being serious, if you ever see me doing one of those curl things, I give you permission. I shouldn't say that. But yeah, just tell me to cut off that. Give me some child-proof scissors and go, Brian, please cut that off. I give you permission to do that. I was going to say, I give you permission to, and I'm like, nah, that's what we were just talking about, crazy people. No, we know each other. You gave me permission. I hope I don't cut off too much. No! I turned into a transformer. Had a curly stash and worked at a pizza parlor. You did? Man, I hate that shit. I hate that shit. I just do not like when the mustache, like this to me is just like, no, it's like 70s mustache, cowboy 70s diabetes mustache. But when it starts getting like that fancy, like Wario or whatever his name is, Waluigi, right? Yeah. I don't like that. Brian, I'm rewatching every Jerry and reacting to it. I'm at number 2. God, Jared, I'm so sorry. That is uncomfortable and embarrassing for you to have to watch that. I hate watching that old stuff. Is so cringe to me. It's cringe as hell. We were young kids, all right, guys? We were smoking young kids. Ugh. Hung out with Joe last night. Joe Rogan came to Kill Tony to watch. Not even to be on the show, just to watch. It was a fun time. What a great episode we recorded last night. I can't wait for you guys to see it. Yeah. All right, let's go. Well, I'll get back to the comments in a bit. Yeah, Jared. I mean, I just want you to know, anytime you want to choke me out, I want to choke me out twice as hard when I watching back those old episodes. And there is some just stuff all around that is cringe. I don't recommend it anyone watching this old episode or any old episode. Like I like sometimes I fantasize like, I should go through some of my old podcasts like Death Squad Chronicles and stuff, edit out all the copyright stuff. Maybe put it back up, maybe watch it first to make sure there's no like, oh shit, that's fucked up that person said that thing, it's acceptable 10 years ago, but now it's like cringe. Cap, bet. But then I start watching it and I'm like, oh, this whole thing, no one wants this out. Your lips are very real representation of dirty inner pussy. All right, let's get to the point of tonight's episode. 3D. I just thought of something. Sorry. Hold on real quick. I'm just trying to find something real quick. Okay, so back when I grew up in the 70s, but mostly early 80s, mid 80s, there was this craze that was popular because TVs, in the 70s, black and white TVs were pretty common. Even in the 80s, black and white TVs. A lot of people had black and white TVs. Color TVs were more expensive. I know that sounds crazy, but yeah, so my first TV was black and white TV. A black and white TV. But black and white TV, especially if you're one of the, what Tom Segura would say, the poors, you would have black and white TVs if you grew up in the 70s and 80s, at least some of your life. But once it became more common that, all right, everybody pretty much has a color TV now. One thing that became popular was 3D movies. And we're talking not about like the 3D movies that they have in movie theaters anymore. We're talking about the red glasses and the blue glasses, you know. And one thing that became really popular, and at least it was in where I grew up. I'm from Columbus, Ohio. Maybe it was just an Ohio thing. But one thing that was really popular was they would have, I don't know, once, twice a year, they would have like a big event. It usually was, I think, the local NBC channel. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe it was ABC, CBS. I don't remember. But one thing was popular is that they would have this thing that everyone had newspapers. You would get the Sunday newspaper and you would have these free pairs of glasses that would come in your paper. Everyone got the newspaper, so pretty much everyone had these glasses. And it would usually come, I want to say four pairs of glasses that were in your newspaper. And it would say, next Saturday, the event of the lifetime, Jaws 3D, in 3D, you know, for free on NBC, sponsored by Reichard Ford. And I just remember as a kid, you know, this is no internet, we had Atari video games. So 3D to us was like, whoa, this is better than Atari. So when we were young kids, was like the biggest thing in the world. We would have pizza. I remember, you know, it would be a bit like like my dad and my stepmom or my mom, whatever. We would have like a party, like a pizza party, and it was like a big family night. And I think a lot of families during that time period did the same thing. This was like their Super Bowl. Everyone would sit at home. And the 3D glasses that we got in the paper usually looked like that. That's actually, I think, the exact brand of glasses. And you can see there's a Coca-Cola logo inside. It was like sponsored by Coke. You know, they made it seem like it was this huge thing, but they pumped it up so big like it was a Super Bowl because, you know, it had commercials. And I don't remember, but I feel like I remember some of the commercials even being in 3D. But I could be just fever dreaming that. I don't know. So that was actually really big. And the 3D was crap. Pretty much it was the old school 3D where it was two different images, you know, like a red image and a blue image, and it's, you know, kind of overlap a little. But when you put the glasses on, it gave like a 3D effect, blah, blah, blah. Here's also some other pairs of glasses I just found. You know, they had the swamp thing. I remember watching this one in particular. I remember watching the swamp, or the creature from the whatever. Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can find a good example of what the 3D look, but you guys know what I'm talking about. What am I doing? Then after, you know, the effect looked okay, but it wasn't that amazing. I remember even as a kid with no technology at all experience, I do remember going, wow, that's actually neat, but it's not that good. The 3D is not that good. I want it coming at me. Like they sell it as like, you know, like that. Like the 3D then got really better in movie theaters and like the IMAX movie theaters and the digital movie theaters with those glasses that you have to put back into the bucket at the end. I remember seeing Avatar when Avatar came out in the movie theater, the first one, and going, holy shit, now that's 3D. Because it wasn't just the effect of coming at you, but it was also just the depth effect, you know, like having a feeling of depth, you know, it worked. And I was one of those people that anytime a movie came out, even if it was anything, but if there was a 3D version, I would buy that one. And I know a lot of my friends were against that. They're like, you spend an extra $7 to watch Smurfs in 3D? You're a dork. I liked it. I had no problems wearing the glasses. They didn't give me headaches. I enjoyed the 3D version. So back in like 2012, 11, there was another 3D push. And that was when They figured out how, TVs were becoming LCDs instead of plasmas. Remember plasma TVs? Those were weird. Couldn't like put them on the side. I can't remember what. You couldn't lay them down a certain way. They have to always stand for whatever. And yeah. LCDs did one thing, and companies started, and mostly Sony that I remember, started coming out with TVs that are 3D. Now, I still have my Samsung, I think it's a 2013 inch. I want to say it's a 50 inch TV. Maybe it's a 46, but I want to say it's a 55 inch TV. Maybe this is it. Okay, yeah, this is it. So here is the TV I got. I still own this. This is in my spare bedroom. I have better TVs that I could put in the spare room. Newer TVs, but there's something about this TV. I kept it instead of throwing it away just because it's a 3D TV. Here is the TV. It's kind of a big boy. It's one of those TVs where it's fat on the bottom and then it's skinnier near the top. It has this rainbow effect when you look at it. When it's turned off, there's this rainbow glare all over the TV. Now this person, I guess, isn't showing the 3D glasses. So let's go back to the other video. This is the year before. It's pretty much the same TV. But you had these glasses. And the cool thing about these glasses is they worked really well. The bad thing is they had a battery in them. And I always had problems with the battery dying. Like one of those things where you use them once and then you don't know if you turned it on or turned it back off. And then next thing you try to use it and the battery in the glasses are dead. But the effect it gave and the 3D effect that it did was, I would say, as is good or very close to the effect when you go to a movie theater. And later, those glasses got cheaper, and you can buy them on Amazon now pretty cheap. Some of them are rechargeable now, I think. But other than that, for normal TV and everything normal, it's just a regular TV. But you have the ability to watch 3D movies in it. Now, up till recently, 3D TVs were kind of cool for like 2 or 3 years. And that was all the craze. Every TV that was coming out was like, this is a 3D TV. So, and different manufacturers have had different ideas of 3D TVs. Some of them have it where it's an active shutter, or I forget what it is, but like sometimes the 3D glasses don't have batteries. Sometimes some of the newer ones has no batteries. It's kind of like the exact same glasses you have at a movie theater. And then that kind of went away. That craze was over. People were not wanting to spend the extra $200 on a TV just to have a 3D effect that they never used. So they would, companies with like Samsung and stuff like that would have models of TV that were just as the same TV, but minus the 3D for cheaper. And most people just ended up buying the non-3D TVs. So TV companies stopped adding that 3D feature in their TVs. And then for a while, it disappeared again. And now, even in movie theaters, you don't really see movies in 3D as much anymore. When there's like when there's like a Spider-Man or something big, sometimes those are in 3D. Now, recently, there's projectors that have 3D. They're adding it to projectors. I just bought a new projector for my new studio, and it's still boxed up. So I won't be able to talk about that for like at least 3 weeks or so. And I am looking forward to it because this is a laser projector that does 3D. And I want to know if it's as good as the old TVs, if it's better. I mean, this is like an 8K projector. So I don't know if it's going to be better or not. And I'll give a full review of that once I use it. But I'm looking forward to it, because now I will be having 130 or 140 inch screen in 3D. So that's going to be like being at a movie theater in 3D. That to me sounds pretty trippy, and I can't wait to try that out. Well, now what's next, right? You know, the problem with having a projector or having a TV, you know, you have glasses, and even the projector, I have to wear glasses, and there's all these accessories. Well, here comes, of course, the Apple Vision Pro, Apple's new VR AR headset, even though they don't want you to call it that. They want you to call it everything except VR and Apple. But anyways, we've talked about this a million times. It's also available to pre-order Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern time. And, you know, they showed a bunch of cool stuff, and watching movies was one of them. And the Vision Pro is going to either be the biggest push for VR in the future, or it's going to be the biggest flop Apple has ever done. They promise all these things, like you work on them. I mean, Quest does this too. But the big difference is that the quality of this is supposed to be so amazing. It's going to be next level. This is going to be something that looks stylish. You put it on. It's in the Apple universe and stuff like that. But one thing they're really pushing is how good the theater experience is. Now, they kind of just blew over this when they announced it. They showed a lot, and they didn't really talk about too much about watching movies on it. They showed it as one of the, just one of the many options the Vision Pro is going to have. Then it came out that Apple Vision Pro will be able to show movies in 3D. And we're talking what could be the best 3D ever made to watch because of the quality of it, and being how portable it is. You can just throw this on and watch a new movie in it. This week, Apple has released the list of 3D movies in preparation for the launch. In an event in June at WWDC, Apple confirmed that its Vision OS will support playing 3D versions of movies on a giant virtual screen. You can choose between your real room, you can have your room darkened, or a virtual environment. Now, I have always said one of my favorite 3D movies was Avatar #1. That was one I saw in the movie theater. That was the reason I bought that Samsung TV back in the day, because of the movie Avatar. And when Avatar 2 was announced and it was getting closer, I remember me and Joe and everybody, we were so freaking excited for this movie to come out, and it was because of how good that 3D was. When it came out, I never saw it. I haven't been back to the movie theater in a while. I'm just not into movie theaters anymore. I have a big projector now, and it's hard for me to it's not about the money as much as, it's kind of annoying, but it's more about just being in public, being, around people when I could just be at home. I can press pause, go to the bathroom, smoke, do whatever I want. It's hard for me. Like, I don't see the benefit anymore. Like, I have a great experience at home. I'm good, I'm good. But 3D movies would be something I would normally come out now. So I never got to see Avatar 2. And I thought that VR, because I knew it was possible, I thought VR eventually would be able to be like, no, you could put a VR helmet on and watch Avatar 2, and it would be way better than going into the movie theater. And early reports of people that had been able to do it say that it is better than watching it in the movie theater. And just the other day, Apple announced all their movies. Now, they only originally said that the sequel to Avatar, Avatar 2, The Way of Water, was the only 3D title confirmed by Apple. But nope, the list is out. And these are all the 3D movies that you'll be able to watch day one. I'm not going to read them all, but you know, you got Everest, which is great, 47 Ronin, Jurassic World, Kung Fu Panda 3, Pacific Rim, Shrek in 3D. I've never seen Shrek in 3D. And I've never seen The Boss Baby. The Secret Life of Pets 2, Trolls World War, Warcraft. But they also, you know, Avatar's not even listed on there, but they're supposedly going to be listing even more. This is not a final list. These are just some that have popped up so far. Obviously, Avatar's going to pop up and stuff like that. And stuff like whatever. Now, I guess you can. The only legal way to rent or buy 3D movies on Quest is through a third-party platform like Big Screen. So it is possible to do this right now on a Quest headset through some trickeries. They're saying some cinemas still show 3D versions of movies, but TV manufacturers started supporting it around 2016. Look, it's all the shit I was just telling you about. Viewing 3D content in head-mounted displays is markedly better experience than using 3D glasses with a TV, though. You get a more pronounced sense of depth, less eye strain, and higher brightness relative to the background. So, could XR headsets eventually revive 3D in the home? Potentially. That's what I've been saying. Now, they're saying some people, you know, that have used the Vision Pro say it's too heavy. So this might be annoying to watch a whole movie. But, I mean, that's what I'm saying. You could pause the movie, take it off, go to the bathroom, smoke, grab some food, tickle your girl's boobs, and then put it back on. But also there's been talk about Apple including the Vision Pro with 2 different head straps. I guess they know there's been complaints of it being heavy, and supposedly there's a new head strap that's going to make that better. See, this is an old article. They don't even know that they are going to give you 2 straps. So this is very interesting, and I really, you know, can't wait to check out 3D in the Apple Vision Pro, because it seems like it could be better, could be something more portable. You're on vacation, you're on an airplane, and you're watching a IMAX-sized screen in front of you, and you're watching Trolls 2 in 3D. Come on. Now, before I continue, because there's more to this, I'm just going to take a little break and smoke a little. I've been talking for 40 minutes straight. You ever cough? It turns off your hearing for a second. You know, like my hearing's just now coming back into, wow. And when something happened, that cough. I think I got hot lunch, like pieces of green tea went in the back of my throat. Ah, that hurt. Ah. Oh my God, my eyes, look at my eyes. That hurt. It's not that, it's actually not that dirty. All that stuff around me is actually stuff that's in boxes, like storage of my old studio that's being moved to my new studio in 2 weeks. It looks like it's overflowing. It's just because they're all in boxes, like these red boxes and stuff. So yeah, it looks like on camera that there's a bunch of trash behind me, but it's actually just stuff in boxes that are about to be taken out of here. It's been here for a while, though. I haven't had my studio set up for over a year. This side of the room, you can't really see it. It's like editing. It's where I edit videos, stuff like that, edit things. Oh. Okay. Now, here's the cool thing, is that since it's coming out, Apple Vision Pro, like you might have noticed the last 2 or 3 episodes of Virtual Redban, news is starting to leak out more and more news is coming out about different specs and features about the Apple Vision Pro. Just like any device, when a new iPhone comes out, you might hear some rumors, but a couple of days before it gets released, you start hearing more and more and more and more and more. Engadget actually had 3 people come out, 3 women. Ooh, spicy. 3 women come out and use the Apple Vision Pro, and they all gave their thoughts on it. Hands-on, immersive video, Disney Plus app, floating keyboard, and a little screaming. We got our hands on with the device once more before its official launch with some new features available to test for the first time. So they asked them the same question, all 3 of these women, after using it. And it's kind of interesting. I've scanned through this. But one thing is the fit and comfort. This first person, wow, doesn't she look fun to hang out with? She said that 15 minutes into her experience, I started to feel it weighted down by the device. In 5 more minutes, I was in pain. But Apple said that there is alternative straps that they could swap out. They changed the strap after she just didn't want to talk about how much pain she was in. And I guess she doesn't want to talk any more about that. Wow, she doesn't give an update. So she was in pain just because she didn't use the new strap. This person says the fitting took long enough, required just about enough tweaking that she thought she was doing it wrong. It was blurry, but finally she got it down. But then she said, tightening the straps helped me get to the text as crisp as I needed it to be, but left my nose feeling pinched. See, she's also having problems with the straps. But the solution was swapping out the strap like the other lady didn't want to do. There's 2 straps included in the box, along with 2 cushions. With those tweaks, the dual loop band, the other strap, I finally felt at ease. Dana, why didn't you tell Sherry Lynn? Oh, Sherry Lynn now is responding. Yeah, that dual lap band felt much better for weight, and it didn't keep slipping down my hair. It was worth pointing out that Apple did perform a scan to determine my strap size, and they chose the medium one for me. I also had to keep turning a dial in the back right to make everything more snug, so I had some control over how tightly. There's a lot of options. You'll find the right one. She should have just done the second strap. Now, I'm not going to go through this whole article, but they go on to do this, the immersive videos, which are the videos that if you have a certain iPhone, one of the newer ones, you can record 3D videos pretty much. Like if you sat there and recorded your dog and then put it on your Apple Vision Pro, it will look like, you'll feel like it is in 3D, like it's creepy, like you're kind of in the movie. I can't wait to try that. So that's going to be a big deal. Then they use the Disney app, and the Disney app is, they're pretty much is saying it's kind of like a video game. You put it on, and it's just like you're all in Disney World animations and stuff like that, and it's very trippy. And you have different options, like you can watch movies in the Disney app, like on top of like the Avengers Tower, is what Sherry Lynn said. Like you can watch it on different environments. Like take me to the Avengers Tower. I want to watch a movie on top of this tower, you know? And there's a bunch of Easter eggs and cool stuff. They all loved it. They said the typing on it was a little weird, but it worked. Some people liked it better. They said that there's like different like things that you know, there's this dinosaur thing that comes with it where, you know, a butterfly lands on your hand and it's pretty badass and realistic and it looks better than the original. But all of them said their final thoughts at the end. So I thought maybe let's just go right to these final thoughts. I've been looking forward to trying the Vision Pro for myself and was mostly not disappointed. The eye and hand tracking systems are impressive and accurate, and I quickly learned how to navigate the interface so much that I was speeding ahead of the instructions given to me. I'm not convinced that I'll want to spend hours upon hours wearing the headset, even if the experience was mind-blowing. The device's $3,500 price is also way out of my budget. Get a job. But of all the VR, AR, MR headsets I've ever tried, and you know, she works for Engadget, so she's probably tried a lot of it, the Apple Vision Pro is far away the best and easily the most thought out. Apple also took the time to show us what you would look like to other people when using the device with a feature called EyeSight. That's the thing that shows your real eyes on the outside of the headset while using it, and it looks really creepy. Depending on what you're doing in Apple Vision OS or whatever, the display will show some animations indicating whether you're fully immersive in an environment or if you can see the people around you. That's cool. So it's going to make your eyes like go white if you're watching something, then flip back like a cat or something. It's going to be creepy and trippy, I bet. I bet it's going to be kind of cool, but scary and weird. Dana says the Vision Pro is mostly easier to use than I expected, and while it has potential as an all-purpose device that could use for web browsing, emailing, and even some industrial apps, its killer application, this is important, for now is clearly watching movies, home movies or otherwise. I can't pretend that Apple is the first to create a headset offering an immersive experience. That would be an insult to every VR headset we've tested previously. Sorry, Apple. And she's going to use the term VR. Yes, Apple, like I said earlier, they're not allowed to use the term AR or VR. It has to be called spatial computing. Do not use it. Like Apple's being weird. But if you ask this girl, she says, I felt like to use the headset, particularly photo and video apps. My answer is I felt joy. It was fun to use, and it is up to you if this much fun should cost $3,500. So they pretty much liked it. They complained about the price. They said the new strap is good, blah, blah, blah. One person says it was definitely the best thing they ever saw. You could read this whole article on Engadget. It's called Apple Vision Pro Hands-On Review. Pretty interesting. We also just found out that Apple Vision Pro reportedly has the 10-core GPU variant of the M2 chip headset and 16 gigabytes of RAM. Now, I have that M2 chipset with, I think, 16 gigs of RAM on a laptop. That is a fast-ass processor. That processor, using it with Final Cut Pro, is pretty fucking good, guys. I mean, like, that's a legit processor. Like, I'm talking about faster than probably most of your computers watching right now. You can render stuff on Final Cut Pro. You can pretty much do it all on that chip. Now, the Quest chip, the Quest 3, pretty much has a very nice, fast, top of the line, I almost want to say cell phone processor. Like high-end tier level of a brand new cell phone, but not anything close to this M2 chip. So I think this M2 chip, finding this out, might be night and day difference. That's pretty amazing. We'll see. That's why it's so expensive, though. $3,500 is not anything amazing. So here's the Disney environments they were talking about. Pretty much. Here, let's see this. Pretty much what they're saying is, like, if you watch like a Disney movie, you're going to have different like experiences. So you can watch a movie like, hey, I'm in Star Wars.
In unbelievable places.
So you could watch a whole movie on top of like a building in Star Wars, or you could watch sports and have like all these different TVs on like in a virtual wall. And have like scoreboards come up and stuff like that.
The game without leaving your home. Or
Look at
be part
that.
of
That's
the
pretty,
action
I mean, that's pretty
you were made
badass.
for.
That's badass as
What if you
fudge.
could travel on a National Geographic adventure?
I mean, come on. That's pretty cool.
So, imaginary.
I mean, this is like, imagine this being your living room.
What if you could bring Disney World into your world?
I mean, this ad is pretty amazing. And a huge copyright strike. So, yeah, it's going to be very interesting. Do I have any more Apple news? No, that's all for Apple news. We'll take a quickie and talk to you guys for a bit. Redban, what do you think of? Oh, great. Uncle Laser using Burr's joke on Kill Tony. Honestly, I saw that live, and I remember thinking, wait, I remember that. And then we were watching it last night, me and Janice, right before bed, because she hadn't seen it, or she was there and she fell asleep in the green room. And I wanted her to watch William's set last night, because I loved William's set. On Monday's episode, I loved William's set. One of my favorite quotes, if anyone had seen it, is, "I don't know where to look anymore." If you know what I'm talking about, me and Janice have been saying that all day today. I don't know where to look anymore. It's so fucking funny. But we caught some of Uncle Laser's set because we were talking about this porn star or something. I can't remember. And Janice watched Uncle Laser's set, and she goes, "Wait a second, I've heard that joke before." I was like, "Yeah, that's what I thought when I heard it the first time, or when I edited it." And then I saw later online, because people sent it to me, and you guys are sending it to me right now. I saw people had said Bill Burr did it, and I'm like, yeah, I think that's where I remember it from, one of Bill Burr's specials. And but also people were sending it to me like it's from this movie or a TV show. I think it's from a movie. I can't remember the movie. If anyone in the chat knows what I'm talking about. But it was pretty much, I don't, the gist of it was like a joke, like, I don't hit women because they fall funny. And I was like, I've heard that before. And Bill Burr had it, but they, you know, it was a little different. You know, Laser said, I don't know what he said, but I don't know. I don't remember. But, you know, so many people have sent me videos, like there's already comparison videos people are sending me and stuff of the two jokes. And yeah, it's pretty much the same joke. Yeah, I would say that's probably the same joke. If it was on purpose or subconsciously, who knows? You know, Laser is a new comic. So he hasn't been doing it for years and years and years. You know, he just quit the oil industry. You know, when you're a new comic, how many people have the same exact joke? It's pretty ridiculous. And it's usually like when you're new, you just remember a joke you used to love as a kid, and you're trying to do a joke kind of like it. And it's funny how the brain works. And, you know, newer comics, that's why you watch open mics sometimes. And it's just like, shoot me now. How many comics have the exact same joke? Or if there's something big that happens in the news, they all have the exact same take on it, or the same abortion joke has been done a million times before. And, you know, I'm not saying he falls into that. I'm just saying that it's easy to, when you're a new comic, not think about it. I don't know. You know, it's easy to happen when you're a new comic. I don't know. But the thing is if that keeps on happening, then, that's smoke and fire. Other comics where it's like, okay, dude, there's 10 examples right here, that's when I have an issue with it, when it's smoke and fire, like Mencia. That was smoke and fire. And as a comic, when it happens to you, though, personally, I've had a few times where somebody has definitely stolen jokes from me. Like, there's so much evidence. It was like I don't want to even get into it, but that's when it really pisses me off. Like, when it happens to you as a comic, like, on purpose, multiple times. It drives me crazy. It happened to me so bad one time that I was going to, like, it got real mad, and I was about to talk to that person. But literally, the day after I found out about it, COVID happened. And then that person ended up getting canceled. And by the time COVID was over, I was just like, okay. The world works in mysterious ways. You guys wouldn't even know that person anyway. Like my new rock star hat. This is reflective. I don't know if that's probably not a good idea. Hey, I'm jogging here. You can't tell. It's weird. Certain lights, like this, just starts glowing. It's weird. It's like, my hat is glowing. I do have a couple more news things. What time? How are you guys doing there? Thank you, Cassio. Thank you for letting me know. Red Bar is always watching. No, you don't have. That's the thing. You don't have to tell people that know. People that know already know. That's like saying, water is delicious. Yeah, I know. That's like when people just start going, definitely Wapner. What's that movie? People. I'm talking about one person. What's his name? Dustin Hoffman? That's like Dustin Hoffman going, definitely Wapner. I know. AI George Carlin, we talked about last episode of Virtual Redban number 706. And I actually shat on it at first, but I didn't like the voice. The voice I didn't think sounded okay. Didn't sound good enough for my liking. Some of those AI voices are pretty spot on. Like the Rogan one is good. The Trump ones are good. The Biden one's good. Certain people, it's like, wow, that sounds just like him. Didn't really like the George Carlin need a little bit more gargle. But if you watch the last episode of 706 of Virtual Redban, we went into it. I watched a little bit of it. And I was shitting on it because I was like talking about how AI sucks at comedy. One of the first things I've always done with like Alexas and Siri, sorry, I didn't mean to say that, was that I've always tried to get humor out of them. Tell me a joke. And it's never been funny. It's been like dad jokes. Even on ChatGPT and all these AI assistants and stuff like that, I've tried to, write me a joke about this. Or if I had an old joke that I've always wanted to spice up a little, try to find little tags for it by using AI. And it's just cheese dick shit. You're like, I could have asked my mom that I could have had my mom write me some jokes about that. Like, oh, isn't that adorable? But then after I watched that special, or a little bit of that special in the last episode, I was pretty impressed. At least the material it made sense. It wasn't cheesy. It was very George Carlin-y. Like it almost felt like the style of him, And while I wasn't like blown away by it, I was like, I want to watch that later. Just, I was the first look of it I got. It was like, okay, that's interesting. It's not like. It's better than it didn't suck as much as I thought it was going to. But anyway, it's like literally the next day after doing the last talking about that, I read that his daughter, Kelly, who I've talked to, Kelly Carlin, George's daughter, slams AI George Carlin's comedy special, slammed by comedian's daughter. Yeah, I get it. I get it. She writes, my statement regarding the AI-generated George Carlin special, my dad spent a lifetime perfecting his craft from his very human life, brain, and imagination. No machine will ever replace his genius, and I think everyone agrees on that. Even the people that made the special, I think, don't think, it was kind of just for fans, from fans. These AI-generated products are clever attempts at trying to recreate a mind that will never exist again. Let the artist's work speak for itself. Humans are so afraid of the void that we can't let what has fallen into it stay there. Here's an idea. How about we give some actual living human comedians a listen to? But if you want to listen to the genuine George Carlin, he was 14 specials that you can find. 14 specials. Remember, was it 7? Is it 7? 7 words, bad words. Kelly Carlin, though. Look, she follows me. Yeah, she follows me. George Carlin's 105th and final appearance on the Tonight Show. Oh, let's take a look at this before we go to part 2. Let's see if we get a copyright strike with some good Johnny Carson.
George Carlin's here tonight.
You know what? Maybe if I speed it up, I won't get... I wonder will she hate me if I speed it up and make everyone sound a little, I don't know. She won't get me right. Just don't want a copyright strike.
Show on PBS called Shining Time Station. He's going to be performing in New Orleans this Saturday night. Welcome, Mr. George.
This is if Johnny Carson and Ed McMahon gave free cocaine to everybody before they started the show.
Carlin.
Just kidding. Let's hear his real voice.
Thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you very much. Good to see everybody. This is my last Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, and this is my 105th Tonight Show.
Wow. 105 appearances. That's so much. Thanks, Brian.
Certainly not a record. A lot of people are up around 200, I understand, but 105 of them. And I always did a stand-up, didn't I, Johnny? Always did a stand-up. None of that, let's sit right down and, talk about my goat's operation or something. 6 minutes per monologue, a total of 10 and a half
6
hours.
minutes.
Standing here or in...
6 minutes. He did it 100 times. That's pretty interesting. I wonder if somebody has ever edited together all of 106 times of his stand-up into one comedy special, but changed his outfit on all 106 of them as the same outfit, so it appeared as the same set. I wonder if that would be considered bad. Just combining all 106 sets. Wait, is that 106 or 101? But 6 minutes each sets but having AI change it all into one outfit so it appeared in like the same curtain behind them. So it appeared as one comedy special. But the problem is the segues would never make sense, right? That would have to be a lot of editing, a lot of audio editing to blend in, the end of a set mixed into like the next joke. It'd be like, why is so many people clapping right now? And yeah, that would be hard. You would have to take the audio out of it. Yeah, it could be done. And give him nipples. Green tea smoker, that would be cool. Give him big, giant, juicy tits.
In New York in the same spot, and that's a lot of time. I could have had sex 3 or 4 times during that. But it is good to be here, and this is the first time doing the show without any pressure at all of hoping they'll invite me back. Commissary, can't say enough about the commissary. Went there again tonight, Johnny. The penguin, cacciatore, sauteed bat groins I had. Very good, very good. And the diced loon. Also, you might be interested, Johnny, a wonderful new restaurant in the valley, Top of the Schmuck. Have you been there yet? Yes, well, it's a big 15-story statue of a schmuck, and the restaurant is in the Hat Band.
Hat Band?
You might want to drop in. Really a good place. You have to forgive me, I'm a little nervous tonight. I only started recently.
Wait, did he say hat band? I was typing. Fuck, see? God.
Recently shaving my legs. And boy, that takes a lot of foam, doesn't it? And the aftershave, whoa.
He's delightful.
Well, I'm not feeling completely well. I was traveling in Pennsylvania recently, and I was beaten up. Oh, you're from Pennsylvania? I was beaten up by a buggy full of Amish people. I'm not expecting it.
I like that because that's an interesting thing he just did there. Somebody in the audience yelled out, and that's one of the most dangerous things for a comedian to go, say something to that person, because then that just makes them louder and talk more. If you're not careful, it could go wrong a lot of times, like a lot of comics love to, oh yeah, what'd you say? Because then I could spend 7 minutes on you and not do any material, and the crowd loves it because I'm just bashing you. That's a lot of people do that. I don't like doing that. When that person goes, yeah, I usually just ignore until it gets too annoying. Like if it's just getting worse, then I have to acknowledge it. But a lot of times if I ignore, that person feels so dumb, and the crowd usually looks at them and they go, what? Why is everyone looking at me? Usually it fixes itself. But I like what he did. He goes, oh, you're from Pennsylvania. He didn't even get them a chance to respond. That's experience right there. That's brilliant.
Aftershave, whoa.
Delightful.
Well, I'm not feeling completely well. I was traveling in Pennsylvania recently, and I was beaten up. Oh, you're from Pennsylvania? I was beaten up by a buggy full of Amish people.
Second.
I'm not expecting it. Anyway, working on a nice new investment of mine, a roach spray. It doesn't kill the roaches, but it fills them with self-doubt as to whether or not they're in the right house. You know you have a drinking problem when you get in a fist fight over the outcome of Jeopardy. I would like to announce tonight I am no longer saying have a nice day. I got finished with that years ago, but I don't believe you should put the responsibility on a person of having a complete nice day. I'm giving specific short-term well wishes now. I say things like have a satisfying mid-morning or a rewarding post-lunch. You know what I say at 5 o'clock? Have an interesting dusk.
Fun. And by the way, this is George Carlin on network TV, not the real George Carlin, This is the censored TV 80s version, 90s, whatever it is.
Figured out the security
80s.
thing at our house. For years, we had security problems. Put up a sign, pit bull on angel dust. Yeah. And nobody has come by except two guys on angel dust, actually. And as long as we're talking about signs, you know that sign, severe tire damage, do not back up? Well, when you're going through there forward, don't you worry a little anyway?
I swear to God, I have thought this every single time I've gone over one of those things. Every single time. Now, when it's returning the rental car, that's one thing. But whenever it's you in your car, how many times you just go over and go, yeah, still knowing it's going to be fine. Why is that? That's so weird. It's just tires, man. Like, I literally get upset every time I drive over one of those things when it's my car.
Maybe they didn't get it right. Maybe a
Right.
guy on drugs installed the spikes.
Yep.
Or
Damn.
maybe you're on drugs. And you're hoping you're going forward. Say, am I backing up? Well, let me take a look at the spikes. Oh, can't see them. Better back up a little. Have you ever noticed that the Ku Klux Klan has never really produced any great composers? Just an observation.
That one caught me off guard.
You know what kind of surgery you never hear about? Nose enhancement. See, many...
Well, I would say he's mostly right. But if you have like one of those like nose cancers, I don't know.
Many of these are not intended to be funny. Many of these, in honor of my last Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, are just observations. I'm
man, that's
hoping
brilliant.
that they lower the drinking age. I just want to see a sign in a bar that says, "You must be 11 and prove it." Some people think of the glass as half full. Some people think of the glass as half empty. I think of the glass as too big.
I like big glasses.
If you fall asleep in a house where there is an adult woman present, when you wake up, you will have a blanket on you. You know those toilet seat covers that they have?
You know, one thing I do occasionally in stand-up, I have like a list in my phone, and it's just called Stone Thoughts. And I think every comic probably has a version of this. It's just anytime I'm really stoned and I think of an idea that I think is funny, that maybe to write a joke about, like a premise, I'll put it there. And a lot of times I'll go through that list and copy one of those ideas and try to write a joke, and some of those actually become jokes. But a lot of times there's some of those that just stay in that stone list. And I'll be like telling the audience this, and I go, let's just read this list right now. And it's just the dumbest things that I thought of when I'm stoned. Let me see if I can find that list. I know one is about hula hoops. Here we go. All right. Oh, no. All right. See, maybe I should try this Thursday at the Secret Show. You know, if you want to watch this whole George Carlin, Johnny Carson thing, it's on Johnny Carson's YouTube channel, Johnny Carson. On YouTube. Yeah, Johnny Carson. You got it, Ed. All right, so here's a couple of these jokes on this. When I write this, oh my God. I scrolled up and there's way more. All right, so these are some that I wrote September 2nd, 2017. See, this first one, you could tell it was written a long time ago. Canadian cocaine smells like maple syrup. I mean, that's just like a dumb joke. See, here's one that made it as a joke. Parliaments. NuvaRing. Every time my girl walks, I could see her NuvaRing stick out. And that ended up kind of being a joke for a bit. I don't really use it much. It's like it pokes out. I like young girls, because they wear leather pants. They're not wearing sweatpants that says goopy on the butt. Like my girl, her pants are so tight. Every time she walks, I could see her NuvaRing poke out. That's where that joke it became. I don't really say it on stage anymore. She's so young, her hair smells like Johnson and Johnson. I don't think I've ever used that. There are perks with dating a porn star. You never have to sit down and go through all these books of her family photos. Oh, God. That actually became a joke, too. It's longer now, but... Now, here's one I wrote, and I don't know if I ever made this a joke, but immediately when I'm reading it, I feel like somebody else did a joke like this. But I need to lose weight, so I have a bigger apartment. That's just stupid, and I feel like I've heard it before. So that's what sucks is like I don't know if I used that joke and I just don't remember. Here's some other stoned ones. Now, this is from 2017. Fajitas are embarrassing. That's all it says. What if fish had very sexy legs, but they still had those dumb fish eyes? If your girlfriend gets mad at you, you're not allowed to own a fish anymore. Because let's admit it, we would all just stare at our fish's legs and have it bend over. Then it just says fishnet stockings. I don't get it. I get the fishnet stock. I guess the idea was to write something about fishnet stockings and having a fish that had really sexy legs. See, I can make it like, what if your fish had beautiful breast and a nice butt? Like, what if fish had a nice butt and beautiful? Like, why can't we do DNA to make fish have sexy butts and breasts? Like good areolas, just the juiciest butt, but the dumb fish eye still. Like, it still has like that fish eye. There's something to it. Maybe I'll try that Thursday. Global warming can be fixed if we just made more ice cubes. I like that. It's so funny. I made that a joke, but I made it longer, and I don't like it as much as just saying it like that. Like, I made it this like 3-minute bit, but just saying it like that, it's funnier. I hate when men walk around like they're all like, like they all look like they have invisible hula hoops. Stupid. It's so funny how smart the world is, but we still haven't figured out that men's and women's bike styles are still backwards. It's like we got China to make the bikes and they mixed up. Because like women bikes have missing the bar that racks your balls. They want the bar. That's why women love riding horses, for the same reason that there should be a bar there, that when they're just sitting there, waiting, not pedaling, maybe at a red light, they can just slide that bar and make a whistle, like, guys don't want that. We're not going to be like put down and and we don't want that. Bike joke funny? All right. I never made that a joke. All right, do I have any more? These are dumb jokes from 2017. Dreams. When people tell you their dreams and it's pointless. It's like, how bored are you that you just spent 10 minutes telling me about your dream? Women, am I right? That's what it says. Eee. This is interesting because was fake news, the term fake news, even a thing in 2017? It just says fake news. Why do people make up fake news when we all have the internet? Fajitas are embarrassing. I wrote it twice because I already wrote that. Gay. I'm not gay, but when a public restroom toilet is warm, I'm not really mad. That's gay as fuck, dude. And gross. I think there was one time, like, I sat on a toilet, like at a Fogo de Chao or something, and it was warm. I'm like, ugh. But then I was like, you know what? It's kind of nice. And then the last thing just says hot dog. That's interesting. Hot dogs have been in my life for a while. So there's some stone jokes. Maybe this Thursday at the Secret Show, I'll try some of these out. I know that one that I really liked. Which one was that again? Bikes. I actually remember I put a little star next to that because I want to try that out for sure. I need to write more of these dumb little jokes. I always go for the story jokes. And those are so hard because you pretty much just have to take all these little jokes and make them one big story. Like, how can I put all these together into a bit, Like, but these small jokes, man, it's fun doing these little small jokes. Here's another one that I wrote down, but that's an old joke that I think before 2017, so maybe I was thinking of something else. I'm not even going to say that one because that doesn't seem like that should be in that list because that's an older joke. Maybe I was something else. I just wrote down UFC, and I have a UFC joke. So I don't think it's that because that's like one of my first 2017. Yeah, I wrote that before 2017, I think. Yeah, for sure. Oh, well. How you guys in the chat? Oh, the porn star joke was good. It can spread its legs a bit if you work it out. The porn star joke? Wait, what's the porn star joke? I don't even remember what I just said. Oh, the family photos. I think I used that joke before. I don't know if I said that or not. There's hot things about dating a porn star. She never wears underwear. I mean, God, you know how nice it is not wearing underwear? Like, you just go to Chili's, and when she sits down, her dress goes up a little, and you can see her little asshole right before she sits down. And then later, after Chili's, you go home and you take her home and you like lay her down on the bed, and she pushes your head down. You're like, okay, I like where this is going. And you start, and you're like, and you're picking out ants and cigarette butts. She has no underwear on, and she's just collecting it like an eyelash, like a fly trap. You're pretty much cleaning out her little pussy gutter because she doesn't have any underwear on it. It's fucking disgusting. One time there was a Band-Aid in there. It wasn't like a regular Band-Aid. It was like a kid's Band-Aid, Dora the Explorer Band-Aid. And then, it has a little tampon on it. And it was all brown. And I was like, it was horrible. It's one of the worst days of my life. All right, guys, if you're new here, welcome to Virtual Redban. This is a weird episode. I don't know what, I had some other news I was going to do, but it's already been an hour and a half, and I'm fixing to get into some virtual reality. If you're new here, this is just part 1 of Virtual Redban. Part 2 is actually where I turn into a woman and we go into virtual reality. Yeah, it's my coming out transgender virtual reality role-playing thing that I do. Help me, Obi-Wan. You're my only hope. If you don't know what virtual reality is, you will once Apple releases the Vision Pro next week or whenever. Behind me, this ocean. That's pretty much what virtual reality looks like. We're about to dive in for part 2 in about 20 minutes. If you're watching me on Twitter right now, just refresh the page in 20 minutes and you'll see the link. It will be broadcasting on X. It will also be broadcasting on YouTube. Please subscribe, hit that like button, that notification bell, and all that shit. If you come back later and this episode's deleted, that happens a lot because of copyright strikes. Don't worry. A lot of times those episodes end up on my subscription on my YouTube for $5 a month. You get extras like little back bonus bloggy Brian footage stuff. And we're going to be adding more to that. And you also get a lot of these episodes that get deleted in there. So become a member, whatever, it's $5. Anyways, this is your 20-minute warning. So grab a drink, take a piss, walk the dog, get ready for some great background noise while you're cooking dinner or searching TikTok. Just put this on your phone or your iPad or your TV. It's good background noise shit. Or you want to take a nap on the couch, just put me on in the background. Say goodbye for your next 5 hours. That's right. We usually do this shit for 5 hours. Hurts my eyes. I'm going blind. Going blind. And I'm using every headset I can so I could sue so many companies that are taking my eyesight from me. And I can't wait to get that Apple money. Girl. Oh. Ooh. Anyways, you got 20 minutes. See you soon. Oh, my.
Yeah.